Now, this formula is not new. If you do a quick search on the internet, you can find plenty of references to it. But it came up in a workshop that we ran for our clients recently. And one of the things that we do with all of our clients is help them improve their own skills and abilities, okay? We're big believers in, if you want to have a great business, you need to become a great business person, all right? So what I'll do is I'll just draw up this formula very quickly. Okay, you may have heard of it before. But you probably, some of you, if you haven't seen it before, you're probably wondering, well, what does that mean? Now, be times do equals have. A lot of what we've done with videos and we've shared with you over the last few weeks and the last couple of months is all around the do. It's all the things you need to do in your business. Strategies for marketing that Lucien may have shared, strategies that I've shared on growing your business, improving your team, and so on. But they're all they're the actions that we take. Okay. But a major component of success and getting the results that we want in business, not just in business, but in life in general, is this B part, okay? And another word for B is our thoughts. How we think obviously influences the results we get. Now, you've probably seen this, let's say you've been to a networking event or you've seen two people in the same industry. They may be doing the same sorts of things, but they're getting different results because they're different people, okay? So what we're going to do over the next few weeks, I'll be doing different videos to help explain how we can improve our own thoughts and our own skills, okay? So some of the areas that you probably should consider in terms of improving our B is improving our skills, attitude, knowledge, even things like our relationships, the people our environment. All of these things have an amazing effect on how we think about ourselves, and how we interact with other people, okay? So look forward to the next, the videos that we'll be doing over the next few weeks. It'll be all about how to improve ourselves and how to develop ourselves, okay? So have a fantastic week. Take this on board. Have a think about what you can do straight away to improve your skills, reading books, attending seminars, watching videos, obviously, that type of thing. So go to it, start educating yourself, and we'll speak to you very soon. Okay, so now this model is called above and below the line. So, funnily enough, we have here a line. Now, it's a really great way to think about your attitude. Is your attitude above the line or below the line? Now, above the line, we have three words that help describe, how we should be behaving and how we really want our team to behave. All right, so the first word is ownership. We really want to be able to take ownership over our actions and what we do in life, the decisions we make, and and really make sure that we understand that if it's things happen because of the actions we take, and really if it's going to be, it's up to me. All right, so it's all about us taking that ownership. The second word is accountable. All right, so we need to be held accountable for the decisions we make and the actions we take. So very similar to ownership, but it's more about understanding that there is repercussions about, with the activities we do, the actions we take, and it's very important for your team to understand that as well. And the last word that we need to focus on is responsible. Okay, so we're really responsible for making a change, for taking us from where we are now to where we want to be, responsible for making improvements, responsible for fixing stuff-ups that are due to decisions we've made or that our team has made. All right, so it's really making sure that we and our teams and the people around us take ownership, make sure they're accountable for the actions, and also responsible for making that change and making things happen. Now I've used green pen for the top above the line things. Now below the line, there are 3 more words that we want to make sure we avoid or that we are aware of and try not to do. All right, so I'll use red because we want to stay away from these. So the first word is blame. All right, and I'll give you a good example of this in a minute, but really, it's not about blaming others for things that go wrong. Even when your team does something wrong, it's not about blaming them. It's about understanding, well, I was the one who was responsible for making the decision to hire that person. I'm the one who was responsible for how they got trained and how they settled into work and how they understood what was required of them and so on, right? So it's all about taking ownership and not blaming others. The second word is excuse, all right? So stop making excuses, all right? It's about taking ownership and getting on with things. And the last word is denial, okay? So denial means not being honest with yourself, right? So it's really about being objective, being honest about the situation, being honest about what you need to do and how you need to improve to make things better. All right, so if people live down here, you know, if you look at these 3 words, the start of those words spell bed. It's like you're sitting in bed, or your team member or whoever you know is sitting in bed watching the world go by and really not having that control. All right, they think everything's happening around them, it's nothing to do with them, it's nothing to do with what they've done, you know, and life passes them by. So where we want to be, obviously is up here above the line, and the letters of those words spell oar. So what it means is that it's like you've got an oar, you're in a boat, you might be on a river, the river might be taking you in different directions, or you might be in the sea and the tide may be taking you in different directions, but you've got an oar to take control and move that boat where you want it to go, all right? So it is about understanding if we're above the line, sure we take ownership, accountability and responsibility, but we have control. You know, if we're below the line, it's like things are happening out of our control. And if you think that way, or if your team members think that way, then really they feel that they're out of control and they can't do anything to make things better. So up here, you know, we say we are victors, and it's a victor mentality. And down here, we have victims. Okay. Up here, we get results, and down here, we have reasons. You know, reasons why things aren't working out. All right, so a really important model. Now, if you want a copy of this to, I've got clients who've got this pasted up on their board. You know, we've got a PowerPoint or a slide presentation that you can print off and actually put up on your whiteboard, on your notice board at work. It is really a great model to think about, about being above the line and avoid being below the line, all right? And I know it's easy to get below the line occasionally. It's easy to let things get you down, to get frustrated, to blame others. But it's about understanding that 90% of things that happen in your life and your business are because of the decisions that you've made. All right, so it's about turning it around, taking responsibility, taking ownership, and making things happen. All right, so give me a call if you want to go through any of this. It's a really fantastic way to think, and take it on, share it with your team, or I'm happy to go out there and share it with your team if you want to. All the best, and we'll speak soon. Okay, now in my last video, I took you through this simple formula, okay? Be times do equals have, which means the way you think times the actions that you take give you the results that you want, all right? So obviously the bigger we think, the more action we take will lead to better results, okay? And as I said in my last video, I wanted to do a few videos to explain how to improve this part here. Okay, we do plenty of videos around strategies, what to do in your business and how to go about implementing strategies to grow your business. But I really want to focus on how to improve yourself as the business owner and the leader of the business. Okay, so today's video is all about how to develop dreams, or how to how to harness dreams and the importance of how that flows through to the business planning and the actions that you take in the business. Okay, so I'm just going to rub this off and just write up where dreams fit into the whole business planning and goal setting process. Okay, so it all starts with dreams. This flows down to your goals. That then flows down towards a plan, and I'll explain all this in a minute. And then through to actions. Okay, so it all starts with the dreams or the vision that you have for yourself, for your own life, and for your business. Depending on what you set yourself in terms of your long-term goals and the dreams that you have for yourself, will then influence the goals that you set for yourself and your business. Depending on the goals that you set, you'll develop a plan. So obviously, if you've got bigger goals based on your dreams, then you're going to have a different sort of plan than if you had smaller goals. Okay? So once you have the plan in place, then obviously the actions flow. All right? So you can see there why dreams are such an important part of this whole process. So one thing that I do when I kick off with clients and when I'm working with clients is really encourage them to dream big. You know, don't limit yourself. Have a think about, ideally, what would your life look like in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time, okay? Obviously, if you've got bigger dreams there, then it flows through to all of this business planning and the actions that you take. So let's just go through a few techniques and a few areas that you could use to improve the dreams that you have, okay? So on a personal side, two good techniques or good ways to think about things. One is, let's say that you won $10 million in the lottery. All right, what would your life look like? Okay, so that's a good way to unlock the limitations that you might have regarding your current situation. So imagine if you did win $10 million in the lottery. What would you do? Where would you go? How would you live your life? What sort of house would you like? What sort of car? What sort of experiences? Sporting events that you want to travel to? Countries that you want to travel and see? Okay, so that's one way. The other way is just to start a simple bucket list, or a life list. What are all the things that you'd like to do in your life? Okay, and just start the list and just keep adding to it. And there could be categories. There could be things like sporting events, things you want to learn, countries that you want to go and visit, new skills that you want to develop, people you want to meet. So a whole range of things, right? So just start listing down all the things that you want to do in your life, okay? So that's on the personal side. On the business side, have a think about other businesses that you might admire. They could be in your industry or they could be outside of your industry. And have a think about, well, how have they done it and how can you emulate them, all right? So for example, if you've got a locksmith business, have a think about what the largest locksmith businesses look like, or trades business or professional service business, okay? So have a think about that and aim to emulate them, all right? So now your dreams are your own. It's not up to myself or Lucien to tell you what you want to, what you should be doing. But all I'm encouraging you to do is don't limit yourself. Think big and dream big, and that will flow through to this whole process. Now, we recently had a session with a new client in our group program. We helped her clarify her dreams. She already had some dreams, but it was all about helping her, just telling her that, yes, it's okay to dream and it's okay to have those big dreams. We spent 2 hours to help clarify that, set her goals based on those dreams, put a plan in place, and now she's got a 90-day plan that she can implement and action over the next quarter. Okay, and she said after the end of that, it's just amazing. She's always had some dreams, but now she's got a plan and she knows that she's now got steps to take to put that into place. Okay, and to make that happen. So it's amazing what you can do in a couple of hours. So if you do want to have a session around goal setting, clarifying your dreams, putting a plan in place, just let us know. But otherwise, encourage you to go through this process, the bucket list, what your life might look like ideally, what some businesses look like that you want to emulate and maybe strive towards. Start getting down on paper, and I know it's going to make a massive difference. All right. So look forward to speaking with you soon, and all the best for now. Okay, now I said this was simple, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy, because this whole concept centers around getting out of your comfort zone. Okay, so I'll explain in a minute. Now, this came up at a quarterly growth day that we ran recently. It's a day that we get together our clients once a quarter to review their quarter, to share ideas, and to plan for the next quarter and the next year or so. And one of the things that we do with our clients is to help them improve their leadership skills and their team development and team management skills. So what I'll draw up on here is a concept around getting out of your comfort zone and even welcoming opportunities to get out of your comfort zone. Okay, now these people may be hesitant to do things like public speaking, these sorts of videos. It's not something that I used to do. I'm a lot more comfortable at it now. Still getting better. Even things like confronting poor performing employees. All of these things are things that people tend to avoid. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll draw this up on the board. Okay, so that's us, with a smiley face hopefully. And that circle represents our comfort zone. Okay, it's the area that we like to operate in normally. But for us to grow as people, improve our skills and abilities, we need to look for opportunities and welcome opportunities to get out of that comfort zone. Okay? Now obviously it's not comfortable, we need to acknowledge that as well, and we need to acknowledge that when we're sharing this with others. But what happens is we do it a couple of times and it becomes easier and our comfort zone grows. Alright, so then what we need to do is look for more opportunities and welcome more opportunities to once again get out of our comfort zone and continue to grow and develop as people. Okay, so I share this with my clients, obviously, but it's very important for us as business owners, but also for our teams, our managers, and even people like our kids. I mean, this is a diagram and illustration that I've used with my kids. It's a fantastic way to illustrate that, first of all, acknowledge that it is uncomfortable, obviously, for people to get out of the comfort zone, but it's about growing ourselves, growing our abilities, our skills, and our effectiveness. Okay, so hopefully you found this a simple concept and one that you can put into practice, and I look forward to hearing all about how you're developing and improving your abilities and effectiveness in your business.